I've got a new favourite racial slur. I was playing online poker the other day, and it was me, 4 Americans, and a Peruvian. And it quickly became apparent that the Peruvian had a much slower internet connection than the rest of us. And each one of his moves was taking twice as long as everyone else, and he was holding up the game. And the other players gradually became more and more impatient, until finally one of the Americans snapped, and he typed, "Hurry the fuck up, you Machu Picchu cunt." Because sometimes racism and poetry are the same thing. But what I like about that insult is that although it demonstrates a complete lack of cultural sensitivity and a complete lack of basic human decency, it also demonstrates quite a detailed knowledge of South American geography. I also like it because it proves you don't have to leave the house to write observational comedy. But the more I think about it, the more I think that the American has stumbled upon the perfect formula for an insult, which is geographical feature plus swear word. And I've started using this in my day-to-day life. For example, the other day I was late for work, and there was a woman ahead of me blocking the pavement. And this woman was from Somerset. And I knew she was from Somerset because she was wearing a t-shirt which said "Somerset for life," with a number 4 instead of the word "for." And to her, that slogan, "Somerset for life," probably sounded like a heartfelt declaration of regional pride. But to me, and to all the other onlookers in the street, it sounded more like the diagnosis of a chronic illness. Or the handing down of a particularly harsh judicial sentence. Now, normally when a person uses the number 4 as a substitute for the word "for," it's a sign that that person has a below average level of literacy. But when a person from Somerset uses the number 4 as a substitute for the word "for," it's a sign that that person has an above average level of numeracy. None of these statements about Somerset are true, but I was born in Dorset, and so pointless regionalism forces me to hate the almost identical county of Somerset. But I was late for work, and she was blocking the pavement. And every time I tried to go left, she went left. Every time I tried to go right, she went right. Until eventually I snapped. And I shouted, "Get out of the way, you Cheddar Gorge bellend." And she turned around and she said, "Huh. I've not heard that one before." Normally when people want to insult me, they call me cheesehead or cheeseface, because I'm from the town of Cheddar, which is famous for its cheese. Why didn't you just call me one of those names? And I said, "Cheeseface? What are you talking about? Were you not listening to the poker story at the start of my set?" It's geographical feature plus swear word. Cheese is not a geographical feature. You Cheddar Gorge bellend. And then she said, "Oh yeah? Well, where are you from?" Now, I'd anticipated that this might happen. So, without missing a beat, I responded, "I'm from the East Yorkshire village of Ousefleet." Now, if you don't know, the East Yorkshire village of Ousefleet was recently named by the Ordnance Survey as the most featureless square kilometre in all of Great Britain. In the entire map square, the only thing that there is an electricity pylon. And only part of that is in the square. When a tree falls in the forest, people wonder if it made a sound. When a tree falls in Ousefleet, people say, "Where did that tree come from?" That's not one of ours, we haven't got those. Must have come from a neighbouring square. So she asked where I was from, and I said, "I'm from the East Yorkshire village of Ousefleet." And she said, "Oh, that's quite featureless, isn't it?" And I said, yeah, famously so. And then she called me a half pylon wanker and walked off. The end.